What's up, world? It's your boy Hayden Dinsdale coming at you live from Melbourne in Australia, bringing you a video about how to deal with your anger. Are you someone who is pissed off at the world? Are you snapping at those close to you? This video has the answers you are looking for. Coming up next, how to deal with your anger. Let's talk about anger. Let's talk about that little thing that festers inside and bubbles and boils to the point when it needs to be released, it needs to be expressed. Why do we have it? Why is it a thing? What purpose does it serve? Is anger good for us? Yeah, I actually think it is. There'll be people out there who will advocate just being happy all the time. Now, don't get it twisted, don't get it wrong. I love happiness. I love feelings of joy. I love just also helping others feel feelings of joy. But by no means do I think anger is to be dismissed. I think it is to be addressed and not suppressed. We are only human. At the end of the day, we are only human and we feel feelings, and it is naive to think that we can dull these feelings or just ignore them and hope that they go away. With anger, it is such an intense emotion. It can be used for positive. This is the thing, a lot of people don't realize that. Anger can be used to drive people to do incredible things. It can also be used as a weapon against others, and that, I think, is when it starts becoming a bit dangerous. So let's talk about the types of anger that exist. And we'll start off with, I'll draw a little spectrum in fact. Let's say we've got the bottlers. The bottlers are the people who are used to holding those feelings within, rather than speaking out at the moment of abrasion with another or a situation, without wanting to flare up and exacerbate a situation. They will instead hold it within. And they're the ones who quite often you don't even realize are angry people. Then you've got your road ragers. So we've got the bottlers on this end, and we've got the road ragers on this end. And the road ragers are those who, and everyone knows them. You might be one of them. You get in the car with the person and someone doesn't indicate when they're turning right, and the person just flips their lid, just loses it. Ah, you fucking idiot! I feel that the road ragers are people to be less frightened of or concerned about. Their feelings are still real, but they're probably not warranted. It's a type of outward expression, I feel, with those people. That expression is usually just a projection of how they feel inside. Yes, the person who cut them off or didn't indicate may have done the wrong thing, but that outburst isn't really warranted. What I would like to propose here is that it doesn't have to get to that point. You don't have to let it get to that point. I think what I would like to start with are some suggestions on how you can address anger before it gets out of hand. So step one, first of all, is address it. Don't suppress it. The more you hold it in, the more it brews, the more it compounds, and the more likely it is that when it comes out, it will result in a way that you probably don't want it to. That's why I kind of think it's good almost being a road rager in a way, because they just get it out, it's done, and then they move on and they go drive down the street and their day is done. But what I'd say is this. Feelings of anger usually stem from some sort of feeling of powerlessness. If we have a sense of control, a sense of certainty, we know that a situation can be handled, do we get angry about it? No, because we know that it can be resolved. We know it can be fixed. We know there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a way out of that situation. It's feelings of helplessness, thinking that we aren't going to be able to ever see the end of a problem, that there is no solution. That, for me, would be one of the biggest contributors to real anger. I'm not talking about just someone's pissed me off and I'm just having a little outburst. I mean real anger. It comes from a lack of power. So the key is to find a way to get your power back. Find a way to control something in a positive way. Now, a negative way of doing this, and I know this doesn't come from me, this comes from people that I know in the real world. They have been helpless in certain situations, and the only way they've felt they could find control was to control things like their eating, and then they developed things like eating disorders. Now, that would be an unproductive way, or an unideal way, if that's a word, to deal with it. An ideal way would be to do something like focus on creation of some sort. So for me, I really enjoy the art of creating, whether it's film, whether it's music, whether it is relationships, doing something that is building upon what I already have, building a new skill, building a body, hitting the gym. This is why the gym is such an excellent way to expend that energy, that really high intensity fire energy. So for me, my 3 ways of dealing with stress and anger that have been most effective have been through sex, through the gym, and through music. And that could be either making it or listening to it. I find if I'm ever frustrated or angry and I've just smashed a gym session, or I've had some great sex, or I have created a good piece of music, or just listened to something that really excites me, all of a sudden, those feelings, they dissipate. They become less noticeable and they weigh less on me. So what I'd say is find your productive outlets, your creative outlets to deal with anger and stress. An unproductive way would be controlling your eating, maybe controlling another. Some people use their anger to manipulate others and take control of certain situations at the expense of others. So, I would also say, when it comes to dealing with anger, that breathing, oh my God, breathing. Even now, like I just had a breath. Fuck, and it feels amazing. Like, let me put it to you. Let me put it to you like this. I don't smoke, never been a smoker, but here's my thoughts and views on why smoking is so calming. Yes, nicotine has a calming effect. But if any individual who was feeling stressed did what a smoker did and removed themselves from a situation, so I'm a smoker, I really need to leave right now, I'm going to go outside and have a ciggy, we'll talk about this when I get back. Go outside and have a cigarette for 5 minutes on my own and go inside. Now, let's do this without a cigarette. If I removed myself from the situation, had 1 minute, 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes even, if I needed it, to just breathe and not think about what is happening over here. Am I going to feel better? Yes, 100%. 2 breaths just then made me feel better. Imagine doing that for 5 minutes. Now, you might not have the 5 minutes to do that, but you could take 1 minute. It's easy. Breathing is one of the quickest ways to release anger and relieve stress. Try and steady your heart rate. And then when you're ready, walk back in and deal with the situation, coming at it from perhaps another angle. An angle that you would not have seen before when you were blinded by rage. There is such a common occurrence of that. People blacking out in fits of rage and then they do crazy things. Like, anger is powerful. It's so powerful, but it doesn't have to be used in a tyrannical or oppressing way. You can use it productively. So don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of your anger. Make it your friend. Figure out how to use it, how to channel it into something. I channel it into this right now. I've got some things going on, but I know that by making these videos, I get a sense of fulfillment because I know that I'm helping. I receive messages from people saying, "Hayden, man, that was an amazing video. Thank you. That helped me out so much." And I go, "Fuck, yes, I'm doing good things." So it's great. It's great to be able to do that. And then lastly, to deal with anger, I think you really need to be willing to ask yourself confronting questions and to be honest. Being accountable and being responsible are probably two of the greatest things that you can do to dealing with the root cause of anger, getting to an underlying issue. Because quite often what you are angry about is not really what you are angry about. It's just at that point, everything else has culminated to create that moment of outburst. So what other areas are you actually frustrated in? What other areas of your life are you unhappy with? And why? So that could look like this. So I might find that I get frustrated by certain things my girlfriend does. And it might be something like going out to dinner and ordering everything on the menu, and just being like, "Okay, cool, there's the entire menu, let's eat." Now that's fine. But if I find that I'm getting angry at that or frustrated with that, I'm like, where is that coming from? Okay, it's coming from a place of me being frustrated that I can't do that all the time. Because to eat like a king, you have to have the funds of a king to do that every single day. So my frustration is in my own inadequacy, in my idea of being a man, that I don't have the finances to give me that life at the moment where I could eat all courses of every meal that I want, every meal of the day, wherever I want. So that might be it. It might not actually be at her, it's at me for not being the man that I believe I should be. That would be an example of how the thing that you're really frustrated with isn't the thing that you're having an outburst at. So address your frustrations. Where is it that you can reclaim power? How do you get your power back? How do you get yourself to a position of feeling dominant, to feeling like an authority? Are you being told what to do in your job all the time and you feel like you're being told what to do in your relationship and you're not taking space for yourself or taking space to grow yourself in a way that you can then take the reins elsewhere? Find what you can control. Get in the gym, listen to music, breathe and address the real causes. Remember, your anger is not your enemy, it is your friend. Address it, don't suppress it.